This story is from 4 years ago, and I'm going to bring it back to 2025 here in a second. But I didn't know this happened. I was not aware that this was going on, and this is shocking to me. This is a picture of the arcade version of Street Fighter 2 from E Honda's stage. You guys have all played Street Fighter 2 before. You're aware of this, yeah?
Oh yeah, I still have the original SNES cartridge sitting right over there. Yeah.
And this is the edited version, the new version of this, where they have removed in the background. You notice they removed the sun in the background here because apparently this
was it. Wait. Oh wait, I guess I noticed that. That's the rising sun from yeah, that's the Imperial Japanese flag from World War II. Yeah.
And there's more here. This is once again courtesy of Daniel, who has a great book, by the way, over on that you can pick up. They also did this with Zangief's stage and removed the hammer and sickle that was in the middle of the stage here. So they have gone back and they have this once again from 2021 removed, quote, potentially offensive backgrounds. This is from E Honda's stage, and they did this, like I said, with Zangief's stage as well, which took place in Russia. Now, this is from 2021. Like I said, I didn't know this happened. I didn't know this was going on. Otherwise, I mean, this is still stupid as shit. Like, I can even go back to that headspace in 2021. 2021 was a very volatile time, very divisive in a major way. A lot of people were pissed off about a lot of things happening in society, and a lot of companies went out of their way to react. So in this place, it looks like Capcom reacted in 2021, but it's now 2025, and culture has shifted in a dramatic way. Now, this update to E Honda's stage was apparently done on the Arcade 1-Up version of this. Now, Arcade 1-Up is connected to the internet, so they could hypothetically go back and add the Imperial flag back to it. So, question for you guys: do you think that we will ever reach a point to where these things that have been removed from video games that were deemed problematic will be added back into video games to restore the original form of them? Which, by the way, I don't even understand how this is problematic, but go ahead. But
that was going to be my question. I mean, how is it problematic? Here's the thing. So I look at this as this doesn't make any sense because I know it came out in the arcades before it hit Super Nintendo around, what, 92, 93, 94, somewhere in that.
91, yep.
Oh, was it 91? Okay. So 1991, you were roughly, you were 45 years removed from the fall of Imperial Japan. That flag ended when Emperor Hirohito signed the surrender to the United States and to the Allied powers in 45. But the flag was still in the game. Nobody cared. It was just a historical piece. It was part of it is part of Japanese history. Nobody balked at it 45 years later when it came out in the game. Same thing with the hammer and sickle, the Soviet flag. 1991, 92, I think by 91 we'd already had the fall of the Berlin Wall, right? I think that was 90, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So again, the Soviet Union had collapsed. The hammer and sickle was gone publicly, but it was still in the game. Again, nobody complained. So all of a sudden now in 2021, 30 years after the game comes out, it was problematic?
Right.
I don't get it.
I've never understood that. Eric, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's just the snowflake mentality of the late 2010s, 2020s. People are getting offended by stupid symbols. It's stupid. I don't understand how people look at flags and statues and be like, oh, we got to erase them. So if you erase history, you're doomed to repeat it because you forget about it. So
do you think that we'll see a day where people go back and they add this back to it? Because I went in, I looked for some art. You do think so?
Well, you see Disney recently stopped putting all those warning labels in front of their problematic movies. So it'd be interesting. I mean, we were talking about Song of the South last time I was on with Flawed. Maybe someday they'll release that again. So yeah, I hope we get to a stage. I hope we get to a stage where something like that is possible, because that means society is actually healing.
Yeah.
When we're not too ashamed of our past. to
It's
talk about it.
right, and I think that's the ultimate goal. Now, I went back and I was looking at some footage over on YouTube, and yeah, this guy literally has it pulled up right here. This is on an arcade 1-up, and like it's really bizarre. Like that's the thing is, I think that if I saw this, I would notice that something is missing here in the background, but I wouldn't be able to point out what it was, until you see it side by side and you go, holy shit. I hope that in the words of we can kind of move past this modern day bullshit, and I think you're right about that value. The idea that if you just ignore everything, then you're deemed to repeat it. And that's something I think we're definitely going to see in the future. And the idea of like a flag, an imperial flag being seen as negative. Like we saw that once again around the same time where the Confederate flag was immediately deemed like, oh, it's racist. It's like, what? Like what do you like the American Confederate flag? Like that just all of a sudden became racist because people said it was. So I guess that's
the
Yeah,
crazy
but
thing
Shatter
is with the
saying that flag's
Japanese
still being used
in some places
for the Navy,
the things
the Japanese
like
Navy.
the Japanese flag itself is the only difference between the traditional and now current version and the imperial version during World War II was the rays of the sun coming out of it. The sun, the rising sun, is still the flag. So they could have left the sun and just, if they really wanted, just remove the rays, because the rays is what made it the imperial flag. But you look at it and you go, yeah, something was definitely erased from this, and it just looks bizarre.
Yeah.